You wake at 3 a.m., heart pounding, staring at the ceiling. You swore last week you would change. You felt it. That fire, that certainty. Yet here you are, still the same man, still scrolling, still soft, still lying to yourself. Pause for 4 seconds. Imagine Miyamoto Musashi on his deathbed in the spring of 1645. The greatest swordsman who ever lived, undefeated in over 60 duels to the death, lies withered, lungs rattling with blood. No wife weeps at his side. No child holds his hand. Only a handful of students kneel in silence outside the paper door. He dictates his final words, the Dokkodo, 9 days before he dies alone. His third precept cuts deeper than any blade he ever wielded. Do not, under any circumstances, depend on a partial feeling. Pause for 5 seconds. Feel the shame now. That half-hearted promise you made to the mirror. That flicker of resolve after a breakup, a failure, a dark night. You mistook it for truth. Musashi forbids it. He forbids you from building your life on fog. In 1612, at age 29, Musashi fought Sasaki Kojiro on Ganryū Island. Dawn, low tide. Thousands watched from boats. Kojiro, elegant and favored, wielded the 3-foot nodachi called drying pole. Musashi arrived late, deliberately carrying only a carved boat oar longer than any sword. He had felt, weeks earlier, a partial urge to show respect, to arrive early, to bow, a fleeting warmth toward fair play. He crushed it. He depended only on the cold certainty that Kojiro must die. No courtesy, no hesitation, no partial feeling. One swing shattered Kojiro's skull. The crowd fell silent. Musashi walked away alone, blood dripping from the oar, never looking back. That is the example. Partial feeling is the whisper that kills warriors. Lesson 1. Think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world. Those are Musashi's words. Yet they begin here inside Rule 3. A partial feeling always begins with an inflated self. You feel a spark of motivation after watching a video, and suddenly you are the hero of your own story. You are special. Tomorrow will be different. This is ego masquerading as resolve. Modern application. You open the dating app after months of cowardice. A woman smiles in her photo. Your chest tightens. You feel something. A partial feeling. You convince yourself it is destiny. You message her your life story. She ghosts. You spiral. Why? Because you depended on fog. If you ignore this, the consequence is slow castration of the soul. Every partial feeling you chase chips away at your ability to ever feel anything fully again. You become numb, addicted to the next fleeting high, forever chasing women, jobs, dreams that vanish like morning mist. You die having loved nothing completely, not even yourself. Lesson 2. Never let yourself be saddened by a separation. Musashi wrote that later in Dokkodo, but it is born from Rule 3. Partial feeling is the root of all clinging. You meet a friend in your 20s. You drink, laugh, swear loyalty. You feel brotherhood partially. Years pass. He succeeds. You stagnate. He drifts. You chase. You beg for the old days. You depended on a partial feeling instead of accepting the way moves alone. Modern application. You start a business with a partner. Early wins taste sweet. You feel invincible together. Then hardship. He wavers. You cling. You compromise your vision to keep the feeling alive. The company dies. He leaves richer. You leave broken. Consequence of ignoring the rule. You train yourself to fear loss more than you fear weakness. By 60, you will surround yourself with mediocre men just to avoid the pain of solitude. You will smile at jokes that aren't funny. You will die with acquaintances, not brothers. Lesson 3. Do not seek pleasure for its own sake. Direct from Dokkodo. Yet impossible without crushing partial feelings first. Pleasure always arrives half-formed. A warm buzz from whiskey, a dopamine hit from porn, a fleeting rush from buying something shiny. You feel good partially. You chase the next dose, convinced completion is one more hit away. Musashi lived ascetic in caves, ate plain rice, trained until his hands bled. He refused partial pleasure because he knew it chains men more cruelly than iron. Modern application. Friday night. You feel the itch. Just one drink. Just one video. Just one bet. You negotiate with yourself like a child. You depend on the partial feeling that this time it will be different. By morning, the itch is stronger. Ignore this. And at 50, you will sit in a darkened room, lit only by screens, body wrecked, bank account empty, still telling yourself the next click will finally satisfy. You will die addicted, enslaved by ghosts you invited in one partial feeling at a time. Lesson 4. Do not pursue the taste of good food. Another Dokkodo line. Another blade sharpened by Rule 3. Partial feeling disguises itself as hunger, not for rice, but for comfort. You feel stress. You feel lonely. You order the burger, the wings, the pint of ice cream. You feel better for 12 minutes. You depended on the partial relief instead of facing the void. Modern application. You skip the gym because your body doesn't feel like it today. You honor the partial feeling of tiredness over the absolute truth that weakness compounds. 10 years become 20. At 45, you wheeze climbing stairs. Your son, if you have one, will not respect the man who surrendered to fog. Consequence, you become the soft father, the fat husband, the ghost employee. Your reflection revolts you, yet you lack the force to change because every past attempt was built on partial feeling and crumbled at dawn. Lesson 5. In all things have no preferences. The deepest cut. Preferences are partial feelings wearing the mask of identity. You prefer the easy path, the warm bed, the kind word. Musashi preferred nothing. He slept on stone if stone was there. He fought left-handed when it served the kill. He wrote the Book of 5 Rings with the same hand that buried 60 men. Modern application. You stand at a career crossroads. One path is safe, soul-crushing, well-paid. The other terrifies you but aligns with the man you claim to be. A partial feeling whispers, "Take the money. You can always change later." You listen. You die in a cubicle at 72, clutching a gold watch you never learned to read the time with. Ignore this, and your entire life becomes a preference for comfort over conquest. You will be forgotten before your body is cold. Pause for 5 seconds. Now see yourself at 80 years old. You never mastered Rule 3. You sit in a state-funded room that smells of piss and disinfectant. Your children, if they exist, visit once a year out of duty. Your body is a prison of fat and regret. No one fears you, no one admires you, no one even pities you anymore. On the wall hangs a framed photo of the man you could have been: strong, scarred, solitary, victorious. You cannot look at it. The nurse calls you by your first name like you are a child. You depended on partial feelings your entire life, and now even the memory of full feeling has abandoned you. This is the future you choose if you remain weak. But there is a colder path. The 7-day Steel Mind Challenge begins tomorrow at 0400. Day 1, wake at 0400. No snooze, ever. Feel the partial urge to stay warm. Crush it. Cold shower, 5 minutes minimum. Write on paper, "Today I depend only on absolute resolve." Burn the paper. Train for 1 hour body weight only. No music, no excuses. Day 2, fast until 1800. Water and black coffee only. Every partial hunger pang, say aloud, "I do not depend on this feeling." Read 1 chapter of the Book of 5 Rings. Underline nothing. Absorb. Day 3, delete every dating app, every social media app that is not this channel. Feel the partial panic of FOMO. Crush it. Walk 10 kilometers in the rain. No podcast, no phone, only your footsteps and breath. Day 4, approach 5 women in real life. No outcome dependence. Speak truth. Accept rejection like weather. Feel the partial fear rise. Cut its throat. Day 5. Send the message you have delayed for months. Quit the dead job. Confront the leech friend. Demand the raise. Feel the partial terror of burning the boat. Burn it anyway. Day 6. Train twice. Morning and night. Double yesterday's volume. When the partial feeling of enough whispers, add another set. Sleep on the floor. No pillow. Day 7. Stand alone on a hill or rooftop at sunrise. Read aloud the entire Dokkodo. Vow before the void. From this day, I depend only on absolute resolve, or I die trying. Carve the date into something that does not burn. This is not motivation. This is initiation. You have one life. Musashi died alone so you would not have to die weak. Now choose. Comment below the single Dokkodo rule. You will etch into your soul today. or remain silent, and stay average forever.